Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this video is dedicated to my mama because her birthday is next Tuesday, and this actually was my very first YouTube video ever, and I decided to re-record because the first time I recorded it, it was a mess. But yeah, so this actually is a story time about the time that my mother called the police on me and I had to ride home in the police car. But let me just get into the video. So I believe I was in the 10th grade and it was the end of the year, and I was taking my EOCs, which is end of course, and I had failed my math, I think it was, and so I had to go back to school to retake it. So I don't remember like what day of the week it was, but I do know I was in 10th grade, and so I had my mom take me, and sorry y'all, like this thumbs up, like y'all don't know how what I went through to get to that. Y'all can see this background. If y'all like this background, let me know. But anyway, so yeah. So I was in the 10th grade, and I had to go back to school because I had to take the EOC for one. Then for two, I have asthma, so I had to go get my EpiPen and my inhaler from the office, and you have to pick it up by a certain day. So mom takes me, and if y'all hear crunching, it's my dog over here, because this is, I guess this might be my new video setup, but it's like right by his dog bowl and stuff. But anyways, I told my mama that I had to be there by maybe like 3 or something like that, but I had her take me a little early because I wanted to see my friend. So my friend was graduating, and so this was going to be like my last time being able to see her. So I had my mama drop me off around maybe like noon, which is when like the buses for the regular school hours, they were going home, and then I was going like technically like after school hours to retake the exam with like a whole bunch of other kids. So I'm taking fast forward to I'm taking the exam, and they made us take our batteries out of our phones and put them in manila envelopes at the front of the classroom. So everybody did it, and I wasn't really paying attention to the time. So it was about, I think we had started around maybe like 3 o'clock. And so I'm looking at the time, and you know, 4 o'clock has come and gone, 5 o'clock has come and gone, 6 o'clock has come and gone, and it's like bordering maybe like 6:45. So y'all know, like summertime, like it stays lighter outside longer, and so it wasn't really dark outside. Like it was getting dark, but it wasn't dark outside. So I finished taking the exam, and I was actually with one of my homegirls at the time, and we finished the exam. I turned my phone back on, and I'm walking down the hallway to go downstairs because by this time I'm like, okay, well I can call my mama and she can come get me. So I'm walking down the hallway, and I'm hitting the corner to go down the steps, and I see 2 police officers walking down the hallway that I was taking my exam on. So I'm like, ooh, somebody might get in trouble. So I'm thinking, ooh, like who about to get it? Like somebody about to get arrested? Like what's going on? So I hit the corner with my homegirl, and we pushed open the door to go down the steps. Like, and as soon as I hit the door to go down the steps, the police was like, excuse me, are you Justice? And then they said my last name, and I'm like, yeah. And I don't like police officers, so automatically when they're like it, I'm like, yeah, like why? So they're like, well, your mother is looking for you. And I'm like, looking for me? Why is she looking for me? Like, she dropped me off. So they're like, okay, well, we don't know like why she's looking for you, but she called the police, and we came up here, and go ahead and call her right now. So I call her and I'm like, instantly got an attitude with her. And I'm like, what is it, mama? Like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, where have you been? And I said, I've been taking my exam. Well, I called up to that school and they told me that all the kids went home and there wasn't nobody up there. So I'm like, well, I don't know why they told you that, but I literally just got out of my exam. So I handed the phone to the police officer, and the police officer was like, well, yeah, ma'am, like, she was where she said she was. She really was taking an exam. Like, literally when we saw her, she was just walking out from taking the exam. So they're like, well, are you gonna come, you know, get her, or do we need to bring her home? So I'm like, she need to come get me. So this woman talking about some, oh, well, no, could y'all bring her home? So I had to ride home in the police car. Luckily, the lady let me ride in the front seat, but I had to ride home in the police car. So then I get in the car, and then my aunt is blowing my phone up like, Monk, why you ain't answering this phone? And I'm like, Enid, what are you talking about? I was in my exam. So then she starts fussing me out like, well, you need to keep that phone on you and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, all right, Enid, like, all right. Then my cousin Kayla calls me. Justice, why you ain't been answering the phone? Your mama is worried sick about you. And I'm like, worried sick about me for what? She dropped me off. So finally get home, and she's sitting out on the porch smoking a cigarette. So I pull up and she's like getting on my nerves. Like, I was worried sick about you, daughter. So pause the story. So she was leaving me a whole bunch of voicemails, like, and I'm gonna just have to get in character so that y'all can let me act this out. So first message is, Monk, where the hell are you at? You better get your ass home right now. Okay? Second voicemail. Monk, I'm not playing with you. Where are you at? You're not answering this phone. I done been up to that school and I know you're not there. So where the hell are you at? Third voicemail. Monk, come home, Monk. Monk, I miss you, Monk. Come home. I'm like, what in the bipolar? Ugh. So I was already thoroughly annoyed by the time I got home, because you leave me these nasty voicemails. Then when I get home, it's all you want to kiss me and, oh, Monk, I miss you. And like, no, mama, bye. So get in the house and we just, you know, talking, and I'm like, okay, so why did you call the police on me? Like, why did you? That's embarrassing, because my friend was with me and my friend was like, what did you do? And I'm like, I don't know, like, what I did. Like, mama dropped me off, so I don't know what the problem is. So apparently what happened was my mama had went to sleep when she had dropped me off, and her boyfriend had asked her around maybe like, sorry if y'all hear all of that noise, that's honey, and they're doing something with water. So can you turn that off? So her boyfriend wakes her up and was like, Vet, don't you gotta go get Monk? And I think it was maybe around like 4:30. And she was like, well, has she called? And he was like, nah, she ain't called, but like, you've been asleep for a while, so I didn't know like if you were supposed to go get her or not. So she calls up to the school or whatever, and the lady at the front office told her that everybody who was taking the exams had went home and there were no more kids in the school. I don't know why the lady told her that, but that's what the lady told her. So then mama drives up there, and there were like no cars or anything, like no kids or nothing walking around. So mama had figured, you know, well, maybe something, like, I don't know, maybe something happened to her. So she goes home and starts questioning her boyfriend, like, I'ma just say his name is like Frederick. She's like, Frederick, did you do something to my child? And he's like, no, I ain't do nothing to her. Like, what are you talking about? Mama talking about something. Did you take my car and go pick my daughter up and do something to my kid? Like, you need to tell me now before I call the police. So he like, man, something wrong with you. Like, I ain't do nothing to your kid. Like, I was literally just asking, like, did you need to go get her? Because she been gone since this morning. Like, and it's now approaching 5 o'clock. So I'm just asking, like, did you need to go get her? So she starts accusing him, like, did he kidnap me and kill me and like take her car and then bring her car back? She always just jumps to the worst conclusions ever. So so then she calls the lady back again and was like, ma'am, like, my daughter is up there taking an exam. And the lady was like, well, ma'am, I don't know what to tell you. There are no kids here, blah, 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 blah. And so mama calls the police. So for whatever reason, lady told her that the kids had went home because, yeah, like 95% of the school did go home because whoever was taking an exam during normal school hours went home. But the kids who were taking the exams after school hours were there because we were not being taken home by the school buses. We were being picked up, or a lot of us were probably walking home or taking, you know, public transportation, or, you know, however they get home. So after the whole big commotion, my mama is like, well, I'm gonna need for you to write down all your friends' phone numbers and first and last names and like the roundabout or where they live at, because I just don't feel comfortable now because this whole situation rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm like, well, what does that have to do with me? Because you dropped me off at the school. Like, I'm just a little baffled, like, why you called the police. I understand, you know, the lady told her that I wasn't there or that there were no kids there, but common sense, if you dropped me off, then you should have pressed that lady to find out. Because you dropped me off. It's not like I walked to school or the boyfriend dropped me off. Like, my mama is the one who literally got in the car with her. She drove me all the way to my high school. She saw me get out of the car and walk to the school. It just, like, the whole situation just, like, really ticked me off. And then you leaving me these nasty voice messages, and then you leaving these sappy ones. Like, I was just so annoyed. So I ended up going to my friend's house for the night, but then I had to write down all my friends' contact information and stuff so that she could give it to the police. She was so sad and stuff that she didn't even tell the police officers the correct outfit that I had on. I had on like a regular t-shirt that I had gotten from this food drive from when we had like a... Oh, sorry y'all, my camera died. So okay, so what I was saying was that I had on like a shirt that I got from this food drive, and then some regular jeans, some size and some Friday slippers. But she told them that I had on something totally different. I don't know what she told them that I had on, but luckily the lady was nice, and I didn't have to ride in the back of the police car. That I just had to ride in the front seat, and it was just like a really big misunderstanding. But the ironic thing about this story is that this actually happened a couple of times. Like, my school was really unorganized, so mom almost had to call the police another time because the school had lied and said that maybe I was skipping or something, when really I was actually in the front office, but they forgot that I was in the conference room with the principal and told her that I was, you know, that I must have been skipping or something. So of course she turned up on me, and yeah, that's a story for another time. So yeah, this is a story time about my mama. I just thought that this would be like a really funny story time because her birthday's coming up. So everybody comment down below, happy birthday, Justice's mom, and tell me if you guys like story times, because I will definitely think of more to tell. My life is kind of, I don't know, I don't really have like a lot of stories, but if you want to hear like some first time stories about like certain things, or if you just want to hear like funny ones or just anything, just comment down below and tell me. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one, and thank you so much for watching.